How long will Earth exist? Humans will likely die long before our planet does, unless there's some extraordinary event. Today, the sun is an essential source of gravity and energy, but one day it will cause Earth's demise. As the solar system's central star ages, its life cycle will eventually consume our blue marble. So how long does Earth have until the planet is swallowed up by the sun? Expected time of death, several billion years from now, but if life on Earth will end much, much sooner than that, Earth will become unlivable for most organisms in about 1.3 billion years due to the sun's natural evolution, experts told Life Science, and humans could potentially drive ourselves and country and countless other species to extinction within the next few centuries if the current pace of human-made climate change is not mitigated or as consequence of nuclear war or some ordinary event. The death of the sun. The ultimate curtain call for our planet is tied to the evolution of the sun. Earth has probably 4.5 billion years before the sun becomes a large red giant and then engulfs the Earth. Ravi Koparopu, planetary scientist at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center, told Life Science, a red giant forms in the final stages of stellar evolution when the star runs out of hydrogen to fuel its nuclear fusion and so begins to die, according to the European Space Agency. Once the fusion stops, gravity will take over. The helium core will begin to compress under gravity, which will raise the temperature. That spike in heat will cause the outer plasma layer of the sun to expand dramatically. The sun will swell up at least to the size of the Earth's orbit, Koparapu said. Now, Earth's fate in all this, but Earth likely won't last those 4.5 billion years, and it definitely won't be Earth as we know it. You don't have to wait for the outer layers of the sun to reach the Earth, he said. The planet will experience extreme heat long before the sun finishes its transition to a red giant. As the sun's dying process turns up the temperature, oceans will evaporate. Then the atmosphere eventually goes away, and then the tidal forces of the sun's gravity will shred Earth. Roughly 1.3 billion years from now, humans will not be able to physiologically survive in nature on Earth due to sustained hot and humid conditions. In about 2 billion years, the oceans may evaporate when the sun's luminosity is nearly 20% more than it is now, Koparopu said. Some life may survive to this point, like the extremophiles that live near hydrothermal vents, in the volcanoes, or in ocean floors, but not humans, he said. Humans and all complex life are super needy, Rodolfo Garcia, doctoral student in astronomy and astrobiology, University of Washington, said. In humans, for example, a fever of only 6 degrees Fahrenheit, 3.3 degrees Celsius, is life-threatening, he said. Dangerous wet bulb temperatures, a combination of temperature, humidity, wind speed, sun angle, and cloud cover, in which humans can no longer cool off by sweating, are much more imminent, only a few degrees away, he said. A wet bulb threshold for humans was first predicted to be 95 degrees Fahrenheit or 35 degrees Celsius, but now newer research suggests wet bulb temperatures as low as 86 degrees Fahrenheit or 30 degrees Celsius can be deadly. Some places on Earth have already reached wet bulb temperatures exceeding 90 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 32 degrees Celsius, on multiple occasions, and climate models predict 95 Fahrenheit or 35 Celsius will be a regular occurrence in regions like the Middle East by the end of the century. At that temperature, animals that sweat will be easily cooked in the heat, Koparopu said. In essence, our own greenhouse gases are set to threaten life and society on Earth long before the sun does. If we're talking about human life, the next 100 years are going to be interesting, Koparopu said. This is by Donovan Coffey on Live Science. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.